Scott Plasek. I'm here with Marilyn Bennett. Marilyn is the principal of the Oaks Private School, which is the institution that here at TxEdRights we recommend parents to use as an alternative means of obtaining their high school diploma outside of going through the entire STAAR regimen in Texas. Marilyn, thanks for being with me today.
You're most welcome.
And we're going to talk about the CVEP program, which we've been promoting to our parents for 7 years. But before I do, it's important that our parents know the CVEP program is actually part of an accredited school, the Oaks Private School.
Yes.
And y'all are in Florida, right?
Yes, we are located in Florida with students literally all over the world.
Why don't you tell our members and our viewers a little bit about the Oaks Private School, or TOPS, we'll call it,
Okay.
and the programs you all have there outside of the CVEP program.
All right. We started the Oaks Private School 17 years ago. And in the beginning, it was as a supplement and help to homeschooling parents. Back in those old days, most everybody was still doing print materials, and we were validating their work. Everything was submitted to us. It was a point of accountability for the parents, and we issued report cards and diplomas and so on. Over the years, as it has grown, we've moved into online curriculum. That was way before COVID and when the whole world went online, but we had it for several years before that. And as our school grew and we came in contact with more and more students, we began receiving calls from students who wanted to finish their high school diploma. And what they meant by finish is not take more classes necessarily to get that diploma, because they had already earned all of their credits, but they had been caught in that net called the exit exams that were starting to be given by most of the states. In Florida, it was called FCAT, and in Texas, STAAR, and I believe that was still in place now, where the student has literally earned all of the credits. They took the course, they were passed by their teachers, they earned passing grades, but their diploma was denied to them because they had failed that last exit exam. So we developed this program. We've had it examined by Cognia, by the Southern Association of Colleges and Schools, the Sachs-Cassie organization. So it is a part of our accredited school. It is our second program. Our first, of course, is kindergarten through high school through 12th grade, with regular courses that have to be passed in order to get that diploma. But secondarily, we have now issued hundreds of diplomas to adults. They're out in the workforce, they're raising families, but they're doing all of that without their earned diploma. And I say earned because they did all the work they were supposed to, but because of educational experiments, trying to figure out ways to make sure that students were really learning their lessons, they added these extra tests, which are superfluous. So we developed this program. The student will come to us, contact us in some way, and we get their basic information. We get their transcript from the high school where they attended, and we evaluate that transcript to see if, yes, you really did earn all the credits you were supposed to in that year that you were supposed to graduate. And with that information, then we require them to do one course with us. It's a very short course. We don't make them go through a lot of trouble because they've already earned their credits, but they have to do some work under our supervision in order to get our diploma. So once they have submitted that back to us, it is a workbook. Once they've completed it and send it to us, they get their accredited diploma. And that's really all there is to it, a very simple process.
And,
So,
one of the first parent that I actually know that used the program through our group, they had a situation where their son was scheduled to go into the military, but he hadn't passed his last STAAR exam.
right.
And so they were looking at him just not even being able to fulfill his enlistment if they didn't have a high school diploma in hand. And so they came to the CVEP program, came to y'all, and I think they completed the workbook over the course of a weekend. Got it back to you guys, and I think within a week he was on his way to
Right.
to his basic training. Now that doesn't happen unless the program meets the standards that the U.S. military expects.
Exactly.
Can you talk a little bit about the importance of that accreditation within the
Definitely. We have several students over the years who have come to us because they wanted to join the military. They did not have their diploma, their real diploma. They got a certificate of completion from their high school, but that's not good enough. And they found out that even to go and getting the GED is not going to be enough for enlisting in the military nowadays. So they had to figure out a way to get into it. We've had not computers, I'm sorry. We've had recruiters who have sent people to us because they know about our program. So this particular student, I happen to remember the one you're talking about from several years ago, because he was so excited and really went to work and literally got his work done in just a few days. So what he did was enroll with us. He immediately paid his fee, and we sent him the book. And the workbook is only a 70-page communication skills workbook. It's actually quite entertaining to go through it, and you learn a lot of how to talk to people and body language and things like that. And he sat down and got it done in just 2 or 3 days and sent it back to us. So we processed his diploma immediately. We put him on a priority, as I remember, because his enlistment date that he had to have everything taken care of was approaching rapidly. And other students, as they've come to us, they might take a week, they might take a month. I've had students who are busy with jobs and raising children, and they take 2 or 3 months. So it's totally up to the student as to how fast this process goes. But concerning the accreditation, if we were not an accredited school and the diploma was not recognized by the U.S. Department of Education and our accreditation status, then the military branches would not accept it. We have to be able to show that we have earned our accreditation. And let me just say that our accreditation meets the same standards of the public schools because it's the very same agency. This is not some little dinky accreditation where it says you accredit me and I'll accredit you and we'll call it done. This is the same one.
And we actually we had a mom just a week or two ago in our group who discovered that she had been bamboozled by a quote unquote accredited private school that in fact was just they pay for a certificate accreditation.
There are some out there.
And
sadly,
when she went back to re-enroll in public school, they refused to recognize the year that her child had spent there. So it's really important for parents to understand that accreditation has a specific meaning in the education world, and in organizations like Southern Association of Colleges and Schools, Cognia, Those are what they have to look for when they're looking for an accredited school.
That's right. There are many accreditation agencies out there. Some are through religious organizations. When a student comes to us from a school that has been accredited by someone other than those recognized by the U.S. Department of Education, and you can find those listed on the website, I always take the time to go and look at who accredited this school, what are their requirements, what are the standards they're meeting. There are a few legitimate accreditation organizations out there that are not necessarily through the Department of Education. It may be a religious organization that requires a few extra things. So I don't just immediately dismiss someone who comes from an unusual school. I look to see what they've done and see if there's any way we can work with them.
But a student that leaves with a diploma from TOPS, nobody's going to have to guess about that accreditation.
No. I just got a call from a mom this morning that her daughter has been accepted at the American School in Paris and she's in the performing arts, dance. We also have a student who is currently enrolled at St. Andrews University in Scotland. This is the same university where Prince William and Kate attended and graduated. So we've got some high credentials behind us. A couple of students have graduated from Harvard. Not that they're my favorite school, but that's where they wanted to go. You know, I don't tell them where they can go, but I try to lead them away from such as. But, you know, Princeton, and we've also had students who got their high school diploma and went in the military, who went to a technical school and learned to do nails and be an automotive mechanic. And, you know, it's whatever the student needs, but they need that diploma to do it.
And another thing that comes with our parents sometimes is their children's plans to participate in NCAA sports. Do you all have students that go through TOPS that are later able to play sports at the college level?
Yes. We have, excuse me, let me close that down. I'm at my desk here. We are an approved school by NCAA. Students have to meet certain regulations, requirements in order to become eligible, but we do work with students. I don't know. As of this moment, we haven't had anyone through our CVEP program who has attempted to then go back through NCAA. Most of the students are already out of high school and they're into whatever careers. So, but we definitely would be a school that they could rely upon if that's what they wanted to do. I'm sorry, I'm at my desk here. And okay. I hope these are all students who are enrolling.
Oh, let's hope so. And so what's the current cost of the CVEP program?
All right, when you enroll with us in the CVEP program, if you pay in full on registration, it's $450. If you want to make payments, you can start with $100 down, and then the total cost is going to be $500. But you make your payments as you can, when you can. We don't require a certain amount on a certain day because it's going to be up to you as to when you finish the work and when you get your diploma by completing the payments. So we try to make it as comfortable as possible, both academically and financially. If they don't have their diploma, well, you know good and well, they probably don't have the highest paying job. So we can't expect everybody to just pay the $450 all at one time.
Sure. And after they graduate and get their diploma, do you all maintain the transcripts and
absolutely. We are their school of record forever. Right. And so anytime they need it, if for some reason in the future the Oaks were to close, you know, God forbid that ever happened, but we do have contingency plans for where their records would be stored. And we've set up so that we would have a static website that says, if you're seeking your transcript,
Right.
call this number or go to this website, and that's where it will be housed.
Well, Marilyn, in any, I guess one quick question about just the TOPS program in general. Do you guys enroll students on a class-by-class basis, on a full-time basis, both, combination? How do y'all do that?
Are you talking about the CVEP program or
No,
the
just the
TOPS
TOPS
program?
in general.
The TOPS program is a rolling enrollment. In other words, you can enroll on any day throughout the year, and you are enrolled for 12 months. And you have your own personal calendar. So if for some reason a student wants to enroll with us in October, maybe they've been in a public school and haven't had a successful first reporting period, and they want to come to us, we start their 1-year enrollment at that particular time. We have a lot of students come to us from South America, and their school year starts in February. So we usually have several enrollments at that time. So everyone has their personal calendar. When they do enroll, we will set their daily work calendar so they're finished in about 10 months. And that leaves 2 extra or buffer months in case they're sick, in case there's an emergency situation, they can't get their work done, or maybe they're just running behind and need month 11 and 12 to finish the year's work. But they are promoted. I've had students who started maybe grade 6 in September or October, and by the early spring, they had finished their work. So they can be promoted at that time. They don't have to wait until September or back around to their original enrollment.
Now, are all students enrolled full-time, or can a parent come for a particular class?
We'd have full-time enrollment. We do not have a single class. However, I do have references for someone who wanted to take a single class to send them to kind of a sister school that specializes in that.
Outstanding. Okay. Well, Marilyn, I've definitely appreciated the help and the guidance that you've given me for the last 7 years. For people that don't know, we were talking just before we started the interview. You know, I discovered CVEP when my son was a senior and was missing 3 exit exams to graduate. The state of Texas, to their credit, created a 3 out of 5 rule, and my son passed the 3rd one, so we didn't do it. But discovering CVEP changed our entire family dynamic, because before that point in time, it was an incredible amount of stress over the issue of was he going to graduate or not? How were we going to do it? Did we need to go to a private school for his last year? What were we going to do? And then I discovered CVEP, which made so much sense, because you knew there had to be thousands of kids out there in this situation.
Literally.
And I looked at him and I explained it to him. I said, you won't walk across the stage with your friends, but you'll get your diploma and you'll be able to go on to the next step in your life. Right. And he looked at me and goes, that sounds great. And I said, I think it sounds great too. And
yes, it does.
And so his senior year was just as easy as it could be, because we didn't care what was going to happen at the school with the STAAR exam.
Right.
We knew we had a plan to graduate. My hope is that more parents will say, this is our first choice. You know, instead of we're going to play the school's game and try and get these scores and give up our summers and give up our electives and give up all this stuff for the test tutoring, test prep classes. Let's just go to the public school, get our credits, and then come to the CVEP program and get our diploma. And we never have to worry about those exit exams if we do that.
Exactly. Well, one of the things that I want to emphasize is that when you find yourself in this position as a senior, you're pretty sure that you're not going to graduate or not pass that test, whatever the name of it is in whatever state you're in. Go ahead and contact us. so
Absolutely.
that we can begin a plan. My first
Absolutely.
advice is always take the test, see if you pass it. But if you don't pass it, then you have the extra plan, the alternative route to make sure you get your high school diploma. But I want them to first of all try it, because that's the best. And then they can walk with their friends on graduation date. But if you know it's not going to happen, then just relax, enjoy your senior year. And the day after you are no longer part of the school, call me. We'll work with you. And within a month, if you're diligent, you'll have your diploma anyway. Some schools are kind and will let them walk the stage and get a certificate of completion all bundled up so it looks like the diploma and they're not embarrassed. But other schools are kind of
Punitive.
Unkind and
They're
say, no,
punitive.
you can't walk at all. And that's very, very hurtful. I don't understand the reasoning on that. But we're here. If you need us, we're here and can get the situation remedied in just a month or a few days, however quickly the student works.
Fantastic. Well, Marilyn, I appreciate you taking the time with me today and putting a face on the CVEP program.
Well, I have enjoyed meeting you. We've been talking for quite some time, and
Yes,
so
we
it's
have.
nice to talk with you and see you.
You as well.